Well, Future Guernsey, first of all, it's new and it's intended to be an enduring and professional political movement whose purpose really is about devising a set of policies that addresses the priorities of the community and ultimately leads to more decisive and more effective government. So that's the bold ambition.
Yeah, and how do you see it evolving and taking shape between now and the election and then beyond?
Well, I mean, tonight is just the launch. Clearly, we now got to see how it lands with those outside the room as well, and who wants to then come to the table to see whether we drive it forward together. Because it is intentionally being built really from the bottom up, from the community up, rather than from, if you like, the political elite down. So I think we'll obviously need to see how it develops over the next few months, but the focus is on developing the policy suite in a level of detail that can actually be offered to the public in a manifesto, and then of course finding effectively a new calibre of team playing candidates who are willing to stand in the election, standing behind that manifesto.
Yeah, great. And in terms of the issues that you're kind of looking to address as priorities, can you just sort of briefly talk us through those and how policy might spring up around them?
Yeah, I mean, in essence, probably no great surprise, but the key part is it starts by listening to the community, and the community's number one priority, no great surprise, of course, is housing, affordable housing, and then we've got health and care, education, of course, ensuring we have a long-term sustainable fiscal system, the economy, which of course helps drive our tax system and helps pay for education and health, and then of course climate transition, making sure we're preparing for that as an island community and taking advantage of the economic opportunities. So the idea is that all of those things are interlinked. You can't really touch one without touching the other, and that's a key part of what we're seeking to present.
And you mentioned the word enduring, obviously, perhaps then would suggest that this is a vision beyond, that runs beyond the election. But how much of a sense of urgency do you feel about kind of the need for political change in the island?
Well, I've been in politics now for 12 years. So I think the enduring part also is to recognise that this is absolutely intended and must go well beyond my political life. In terms of the urgency, I am a natural optimist, but I think we have to recognise that the last 4 years of inaction have actually cost the community considerably. The opportunity cost of failing to make decisions and get on and do things is much greater than perhaps people realise. And I don't think we can actually afford another 4 years like the 4 we've just had. So I do think there is a real urgency for change, and I think that is recognised in the research. The very fact that 75% of those asked said we want policy, and the fact that only 13% think that government is actually working effectively, and less than a third think that states members are capable of making a good decision. These are no great surprise, but they are profoundly depressing for anyone who's involved in politics. So politics is too important really to be left to the politicians, and that's why it needs everyone to come together to help drive change.
And just finally, how do people get involved? Obviously, you've got people in the room tonight, but what kind of involvement are you looking for? Is it email suggestions? Is it sign-ups? Is it people to kind of put the name forward for an election?
Yeah, it's all of those things really. It's through the website, get in touch, but however you wish to do so, and offer whatever you wish to be able to offer to be able to help, whether that's in the development of policy, whether that's being a potential candidate, whether that's volunteering in some other way. What we do know is that there are many people who are desperate for change and want to do their bit, and it's not just a question of leaving it to the political class to make that change, because that's not worked terribly well so far.